Hi guys, what's up? Welcome to your favorite technology show, Tech 360. I'm your host, Ayush Elavadi, and we're getting this show started in the new year. So all of us here on the team want to wish you a happy 2026. We hope it's as sparkling and action-packed as 2025 was for you and for us. So now we're going to get the show started and the year started, but let's tell you what we can expect from the year 2026. In the world of technology, as we reach Techtember, which is September in the world of tech, when Tech 360 was born here on NDTV in the revitalized new NDTV, well, that's the time when everyone talks about the new iPhones and all the latest launches, and so much AI has happened in the previous quarter. So then we want it to be manifested. Let's take Apple, for instance. They have WWDC sometime in June. They announce all these software and AI updates, and then you hope for them to be implemented or tangibly in front of you by September. Come October, November, the devices are in your hand and we're all talking about the latest devices. Samsung has a different tech cycle or production cycle. While they do have around July a foldables launch, which has all of us on the edge of our seats, come January, you have their flagship, the S25 Ultra, now the S26 Ultra, which we'll be talking about on this show. But given the production and life cycle of Tech 360, the foundations of 2026, a year in tech, have already been laid here on the show, Tech 360. So what we want to do is tell you what you can expect from 2026 when it comes to tech, and with tech, of course, auto and lifestyle and all the things that you love here on Tech 360, because we've ended the year with a bang. Let's start the year on a bang as well. First of all, there's a surprise for you early on in the year, the biggest tech show on the planet. And of course, we'll be there in Las Vegas at CES 2026. It's no longer an ordinary consumer tech show. It's not just TVs, it's not just smartphones or tablets. One fold, two fold, now even three folds. I think that's a little bit of a sneak peek into what we expect this year. But so much more in terms of mobility, not just a launch of a car, but the launch of a vision of the future, of a platform, EVs that cross 1,000 kilometers on a single charge. All of this has happened at CES. And of course, AI being the flavor of the season, we'll tell you what to expect from this big tech event on your favorite tech show, Tech 360. But another big consumer tech event that happens every January, like I said, is Samsung. So let's begin with them, because one of the first major flagship launches at the start of every year, that month, that period belongs to them. Samsung Electronics has already announced that it will showcase new projects supported by its C-Lab program at CES 2026. These projects span a wide range of fields, including AI, robotics, and digital health. Now, for gadget enthusiasts, all speculative roads lead to Samsung unveiling the Galaxy S26, S26 Plus, and the S26 Ultra at its Unpacked event. The foldable lineup would follow mid-year with the Z Flip 8 and the Z Fold 8. Samsung, what we want from you though in 2026 is simple: bigger batteries, faster charging. It is 2026 after all, and keep up the good work when it comes to Galaxy AI. That said, Samsung has already given us a December surprise, a tri-fold device, and curiosity around it hasn't died down yet. Team here at Tech 360 is working on a dedicated tri-fold special, so make sure you follow us on our socials so you don't miss it. It's uncanny that Samsung decides to hold Galaxy Unpacked in January, but in California, a stone's throw away from Cupertino, Apple Park. And Apple Park is where the rumor mills are working overtime to fold one of Apple's iPhones. Yes, judging from the Apple universe of things, the iPhone 16 quietly in stealth mode became India's best-selling smartphone, even beating many budget offerings, by the way. Early indicators also suggest strong demand for the iPhone 17 series in 2025. That puts the iPhone 18 lineup firmly on track for September 2026. Will it be incremental as an upgrade or monumental? What's honestly going to be a game changer if it happens, and it happens in a timely manner, is the foldable iPhone, potentially launching in late 2026, that everyone, including Apple's investors, are keenly awaiting. Apple will likely use a titanium alloy frame and aim for an ultra-durable hinge to make the book-style design truly robust. The Pixel Fold series has already shown us that this can be done. Prices, however, could be eye-watering. It wouldn't be surprising if the base model crosses 2 lakh rupees. I was cautiously optimistic and a little anxious when the Apple Vision Pro was announced, but then it never made it here to India. And now, of course, Apple has sort of changed its plans with the Vision Pro. But what a foldable iPhone could do is make foldables normal, widely used, and ubiquitous. Tech360's best laptop and iPad came with an M5 chip, and the Mac teams at Apple meanwhile have their hands full with the M5 series. The M5 MacBook Pro, like I said, was our laptop pick of 2025, and the M5 iPad Pro earned top honors in our tablets category. This was last week's episode. You can always log on to our social media handles, go on the NDTV app, or just go on ndtv.com. Tech360 has it all, your one-stop shop for all things tech. Apple give us an M5 Max and an M5 Ultra lineup, make the Mac Studio and even the Mac Mini impossible for us to ignore, even in their base configurations. All of this at an affordable price. Now, a lot of this processor performance improvement isn't just limited to Apple. Intel and Nvidia are trying to play catch-up as well. Leaks around Intel's Nova Lake series made headlines, with reports suggesting configurations topping out at 52 cores. Chip wars and performance battles are only going to intensify in 2026. Samsung has also sounded the bugle against TSMC in the 2nm chip race, while Nvidia's push into AI supercomputing continues. Now, Nvidia's GTC AI conference in March will excite not just tech enthusiasts, but investors and stock markets too. Topics like physical AI, AI factories, and agentic will dominate, all aimed at putting AI into more hands. Hands that in 2025 were just beyond the boundary of usability and accessibility. With great hardware comes great responsibility. Yes, existing AI models will see major boosts in performance and usage. Can you find me 3 really cool spots to shoot in Las Vegas?
Las Vegas has so many iconic spots. First up, there's the Neon Boneyard, where you get a collection of vintage neon signs that are super photogenic. Another great spot is the 7 Magic Mountains.
I mean, if AI is getting so good, and we've just entered 2026, can the rest of the year please be the year of clean, stable software? Okay, I might have left some Easter eggs in that particular link because there's so much happening in the world of AI, and we want a stable, clean software experience with the right hardware as well. Microsoft is set to publicly release Windows 11 version 26H1. This update focuses on enabling new platforms and is not intended for existing silicon, meaning it won't fix today's buggy Windows 11 experience. That fix we expect in early 2026, with full desktop experiences now appearing on handhelds like the ROG Ally series. We fully expect more compact form factors to adopt full-scale desktop integration. And speaking of clean software, we hope some of the Android manufacturers take a leaf out of maybe OnePlus or Google's book, give you a more clean, bloatware-free experience with useful AI, not just gimmicks, on your Android smartphones. And while this is our wish list for 2026, there's an equally exciting list of things we'll be bringing you next week. Because next week, Team Tech 360 heads to the other side of the world, to ground zero, to bring you all the madness, the innovation, and cool surprises from CES 2026 in Las Vegas. It's going to be an action-packed show, but why don't you get a little bit of a sneak peek today?
This year, the technology world is making its most significant pivot in a decade with CES 2026. We are moving beyond smart devices and entering the era of intelligent ecosystems. The big theme this week is agentic AI, artificial intelligence that doesn't just answer questions, but takes action on your behalf. processing information locally and not on the cloud. It all starts with the processors. Intel is launching its Panther Lake Core Ultra Series 3 processors, promising a massive 50% jump in performance. Qualcomm is firing back with its Snapdragon X2 Elite chips, powering a new generation of laptops. We are also expecting NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang to reveal how these AI solutions will revolutionize robotics and industrial productivity. Visually, the future looks brighter than ever. Samsung, LG, and Sony are shifting focus to micro RGB TVs, which use microscopic LEDs for incredible color accuracy. Samsung even bringing back 3D without the glasses, debuting a 6K Odyssey gaming monitor that breaks the fourth wall. Meanwhile, LG is showing off tandem OLED panels designed for superior brightness and longevity. On the road, the car is becoming the ultimate gadget. Brands like Sony, Volvo, and Hyundai are likely to showcase their new innovations. Inside the home, voice commands are being replaced by ambient AI that anticipates your needs automatically. We are seeing a surge in robotics with over 30 companies displaying humanoid robots for home and commercial use. LG is debuting its Cloyd home helper, and we're seeing new robotic vacuums that finally know how to detect and avoid pet waste and cables. Finally, health tech is getting invisible. Expect discrete new smart rings from Circular and Ultrahuman, alongside advanced AI glasses from Meta. CES 2026 will not just be about gadgets. It will be about a world that thinks with you. Tech 360 will be bringing you all the updates from CES 2026 in Las Vegas, so stay tuned.
If you've been watching Tech 360 from our launch date, you know it's an action-packed show. Blink and you will miss it. That's why we need a little bit more high-octane action on the show. The future of mobility is here on Tech 360. I'll see you on the other side of a commercial break. What do you get when you take a Formula E race car and Mahindra's born electric BE6 and put them together? Well, you get this absolutely electric orange B6 Formula E. Yet another special edition of this car. And it was a late bloomer, I think, especially when the XCV9E came. We saw a lot more of them. Along with that, the B6 was not necessarily as ubiquitous. Now we see so many more of these cars. But what's different in the Formula E edition? Remember, there was a Batman edition, the Batmobile, which was launched amidst a lot of fanfare around Independence Day, and that was sold out in a matter of minutes. So what does the Formula E get you? Now, in the Batman edition, there was a little bit of memorabilia, a few signs. Here, things are very different. We're going to take it for a spin. This is going to be the first drive you've ever seen of this car. But very quickly on the outside, of course, you see this Firestorm orange color. And if you've seen the original BE6, you'll see these circular projector headlamps by LED have now replaced the C-shaped ones. There's also these 12 stripes talking about Mahindra's Formula E racing heritage. Then, of course, you have an updated bumper plate right here as well. And all of this looks a lot more aerodynamic. When you're talking about aerodynamic, it doesn't only happen in the front, it also goes all the way to the back over here with the spoiler. Honestly, it looks like $1 million. And of course, there's Formula E badging here, there's Formula E badging here on this side as well. And right on top as well, looks like it's just come off a racetrack. And if you want a car like this, you need two things to make the drive that we're going to do incredibly satisfying. The first thing is 20-inch alloys on this Formula E edition, and there's an intelligent adaptive suspension, which means that everything changes when you're driving this on Mumbai's roads. And that's why I'm going to drive it here in Mumbai and tell you a little bit more about this absolute crowd puller. What's the drive experience like in the Mahindra BE6 Formula E edition? Because you've seen a lot of first look videos and a lot of marketing glitz, but what if you spend nearly 24 lakhs ex-showroom on this car and you're driving it on Mumbai's pothole-laden roads? What's the experience like? Honestly, fairly decent. I'm not sure if I'm in for a race car or for a top-end EV, but the intelligent adaptive suspension is fairly decent, not very different from the standard B6. What really matters is if you're buying that green number plate, which a lot of people call the aspirational number plate. I'll tell you what I find very interesting is how this color and this design and the Formula E badging and all the spiel around it attracts so many eyeballs. People just stop and stare when this car is doing the round. And there's certain cool things that Mahindra has done. For example, the sound experience, or if you go back, the Sonic Suite. What's a Sonic Suite, right? People talk about BMWs being tuned by Hans Zimmer, especially their EVs. They have a Formula E version. So when you hit this on the interior and you rev on the accelerator, that's what it sounds like. But if you want to scare the world outside, go on the interior and the exterior, hit race mode. Also, just alert them that you're driving this really powerful EV, 0 to 100 in 6.7 seconds. Let me show you that as well. And as soon as you accelerate, this is the rumble, the roar, which is obviously all fabricated, but this is what it sounds like. It does. Honestly, a great drive experience with the B6. The rear seat, just like the standard B6, is a little uncomfortable, but if you're the driver, and even if you're 6 feet tall, like me, this cockpit is amazing. Also, small attention to the detail that I didn't speak of earlier is this flip switch when you want to start and stop the car. Pretty cool. Also, FIA badging right here as well. So if you're a Formula E fan, or if you just want something more like a race car, then this is a really cool car by Mahindra. Now, this might be somewhat of a race car at an affordable price point, but there are a few things missing even if you compare it to the standard B6, and we must state them. First and foremost, there's no AR heads-up display like you get on the higher variants there. Also, you don't get that 16 million color ambient lighting package on the inside while you're getting all of this badging and special things and small accessories. You do not get the ambient lighting kit. The bigger wheels and design changes could also mean 20 to 30 kilometers lesser range. That's another small little point about the B6 Formula E edition. And of course, with the ADAS package on this car, you get blind spot monitoring and the 360 camera and all those cool Mahindra features. But the auto lane change is something I haven't spotted. So these are 3 or 4 things that you will need to pay for along with the price if you're buying the Formula E edition. But overall, it is an absolute joyride when you're in the car. Driving the B6 Formula E is actually surprisingly not gimmicky. You know, we talk about Teslas, and the first Tesla drive was here on Tech 360. As always, the latest and greatest covered here in tech, auto, and the like. But I'll tell you something about the BE6, because I drove the BE6 and the XCV9E all the way back in October 2024, the first drive on the racetrack, and everything that comes with this particular born electric EV. And it was fun. But then if you want to make tech and auto fun again, and auto needs to be made fun again in a big way, I think Mahindra is succeeding in doing that. I use the present continuous tense because it's an ongoing project. And cars like this Formula E edition really reinstill hope in you that, of course, driving a car can be fun yet again. There is a little bit of reduced range on this one, maybe because of some of these changes, maybe because of what they're doing with the bigger wheels. But it's all right sacrificing maybe 10, 20, 30 kilometers for something which is so much fun to sit in and so many eyeballs are attracted to instantly. What I really loved is, we go on talking about all these international manufacturers like BMW having sound on the inside tuned by Hans Zimmer and whatnot. But here, in a made in India EV, we have just that. We have a Formula E sound effect on the interior and exterior, like I showed you. We have a race effect, an everyday effect, a range effect. You want to go silent, you have the silent effect. All of that's happening with this EV. Refinement is nearly at 100% now. And I can safely say that the more of these special editions that we see and the more of them that we experience, it genuinely makes auto and tech fun again. This was an absolute joy to drive the Mahindra BE6 Formula E Edition. But write to us on our social media handles and also let us know what you made of this particular vehicle. Would you want to spend on this, or is this way too much glitz and glamour? Maybe the standard B6 would be a better choice. Also, there's a bunch of new launches from the house of Mahindra and Tata coming up in the next couple of weeks. Would you hold off until then? Or is this something you'd want to book with all the cool inclusions with that particular purchase? Let us know. But for now, here's your first look and first drive of the Mahindra BE6. Full disclaimer, we're shooting the show in Maximum City, Mumbai, the home of Tech 360. And mercury has fallen. That means the temperature is at 23 degrees, which is incredibly cold for us Mumbaikars. In Delhi, it's a different story, because obviously in the north, it's a lot more cold. But if it's a competition between the two cities, AQI is a whole story altogether. By Mumbai standards, we're at 150, 160 AQI, which is very high for Mumbai, and it's nothing to write home about. But compared to Delhi, where the AQI has crossed 1,000 in many areas, it is unnatural, unreal, and incredibly unhealthy. That's why a lot of people are really making New Year's plans in other cities. But what if you are traveling in the north, in and around New Delhi? Then we have Tech 360's resident weatherman and safety expert, Sharat Nair, with a bunch of tech tips and jugaad to make sure that you can stay safe, healthy, and happy. Over to you, Sharat.
Well, hello from Delhi, where the math is really simple. Smoke plus fog is equal to smog. But it starts getting a little more complicated when you add stuff like dust, construction dust to it, vehicular pollution to it, industrial pollution to it, and other those small little particles, PM 2.5, PM 10 and all of that to it, it starts getting a little more complicated. Well, one thing you'll always see Sharat Nair at NDTV.com do, at least from dust, he protects himself by always wearing a mouth covering like this. There are a couple of other tips that I want to share with you right now. Hilly areas and many other areas, especially in our northeastern and northern parts of the country, bear witness to, ironically, such dense fog that you can't see anything. So while general advice holds true, drive slowly, adjust your speed and braking distance based on how far you can see, always drive on low beams and use fog lamps if your vehicle is equipped with them. But here's how technology can make your life safer still. Even if you know the route like the front of your hand, always use a navigation tool like Google Maps, for example, because it will show you well in advance on the route that a slowdown ahead could be because of dense fog, so you can be prepared. It will help you anticipate turns, flyovers, roundabouts, even when you cannot see them with your eye, because the visibility is that bad sometimes. It will let you know of junctions from where other vehicles could also be approaching, so you can honk accordingly to let them know. And two-wheeler users can use the voice prompts on their headphones while wearing helmets with transparency mode and no distracting music playing to get alerts about turns and all these aforementioned things, because concentrating on the phone while riding a two-wheeler can be tougher still.
You know, growing up in the 90s, if you watched a lot of sci-fi Hollywood movies or cartoons like the Jetsons, then all the futuristic trends and tech that was showcased then are sort of a reality now, whether you're talking about humanoid robots doing your work or autonomous drones, flying cars, AI, machine learning. All of this is now here in the present. The one thing we haven't seen in 2025 and now in 2026 is teleportation. But what if I told you the team at Tech 360 is working on that, and we're going to be getting to another location to bring you this show to really start off the year with a big bang, with the biggest tech show on the planet, all showcased and broadcast on your favorite technology show, Tech 360. We're going to be heading to Las Vegas for CES, so I'm going to see you from there. Very special show with some of the latest and greatest in AI, tech, sports and mobility. I can't wait. I'll see you on the other side. Thanks so much for watching. Until next week, adios.